You have any idea what we do here?
Yes, sir, I think I have an idea of what you do here.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's say you have no idea what we do here. Zip. None. If you had an idea of what we do here, we would not be any good at what we do, would we? We would be bleeps. You calling us bleeps?
Okay, our people out there, they're like bleeping Indians. You're not going to see them, you're not going to know about them. Without getting too specific, do you have anyone in with Costello right now? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe bleep yourself.
So, what the bleep are we talking about here?
You ever think about maybe going back to school? All due respect, Frank, school is bleeping out.
Yeah.
You know, maybe someday you'll wake the bleep up. Sorry, we didn't have time to brief you on the way in. I'm gonna go have a smoke. You want to smoke? No, you don't smoke, do you? What are you, one of those fitness freaks, huh? Go bleep yourself. Oh. I can't wait to see you try and explain this to a bleeping Suffolk County jury, you bleeping bleeper. This is gonna be bleeping fun. Just bleep and kill me. Just bleep and kill me. I am killing you. Ding. Martin Scorsese has been nominated for the Best Director Academy Award on several occasions. He was nominated for Raging Bull and The Last Temptation of Christ, Goodfellas, Gangs of New York, and The Aviator. But it wasn't until The Departed that he won. And when the moment came, when the award was presented, three individuals came out on stage with the envelope. Francis Ford Coppola, George Lucas, and Steven Spielberg, who are all personal friends of Martin Scorsese. I think they had a pretty good idea who the favorite was to win that year. In the previous couple of occasions he was nominated, Scorsese openly campaigned, you know, as many people do, for awards, doing press interviews and going on talk shows or cozying up to the people at the Golden Globes, the Academy luncheons, or whatever, on both of those pictures. But he didn't win. He lost to Roman Polanski for The Pianist, for Gangs of New York, and for The Aviator he lost to Clint Eastwood for $1 Million Baby. Now, when The Departed came out, there were people in the media who went, "So, Marty, are you going to campaign for an Oscar for Best Director?" He's like, "Nah, I don't think so. You know, this is just a genre movie. It's a cop thriller, you know? It's not really an Academy-type movie." Well, these days there are a lot of non-Academy-type movies winning Best Picture and Best Director, like Slumdog Millionaire, for example, and The Hurt Locker, not traditional Academy movies. I don't know if The Departed was the start of all that, but, you know, it's certainly, well, it certainly deserves the Oscar, I think, more than Gangs of New York and The Aviator. Those are fine films, but not nearly as exciting and thrilling and just plain terrific as The Departed. The script is by William Monahan, I believe, and it's an adaptation of another film. So The Departed is a remake, actually, of an East Asian film called Infernal Affairs, which has the same premise. You've got a gangster, an organized crime figure who has sent one of his boys into the police force to infiltrate and feed him information so it makes him easier to commit crimes and make money. Meanwhile, the cops have got one of their own guys undercover in the gangster's little circle, his little crew of people. And this is the exact same setup for The Departed. Now, despite the fact that I had seen the film, I was still pretty surprised by some of the stuff that happens in The Departed. In fact, there's a scene that takes place in an elevator. That last little reenactment that you saw is from a scene which takes place in an elevator. And the same elevator scene takes place in Infernal Affairs, the original. And the same thing happens in the original film as it does in the remake. And yet, despite the fact that I'd seen the original first and was fully aware of what happened, when I saw the new version in the theater, I was still surprised. In fact, I'll bet everyone was surprised whether they'd seen the original or not, because I obviously don't want to, say exactly what happens if you haven't seen the movie. And if you haven't seen the movie, what are you waiting around for? Please see it. There was this collective gasp, this yelp of surprise. One of the great shocks that I've seen in a movie. I'd rank it right up there with the coughing in the face from Seven and that one incident in the bathroom in Full Metal Jacket. Very, very surprising developments. The main characters are Matt Damon and Leonardo DiCaprio. Matt Damon at this point had been in 2 Jason Bourne movies, so he's a big star at that point. And between the two of them, he actually plays the main character. DiCaprio is, of course, the cop who's infiltrating the gangsters' crew. The gangster, of course, being played by Jack Nicholson in this film. But Matt Damon is more the main character. It begins with his character and it ends with his character as well. So he could rightly be said to be the main character, even though he's pretty much the primary villain of the movie. I mean, obviously, Frank Costello, the gangster that Jack Nicholson plays, is also, one of the big bad guys, and he's in charge over all the bad guys. But when it comes down to it, as far as the dynamics in the storyline, it's a competition between the 2 leading men, DiCaprio and Matt Damon. And that would make Matt Damon the primary villain. Now, the funny thing that I noticed about this movie is the way that it just sort of becomes less about catching a bad guy and punishing him for breaking the law than it is kind of a game. I mean, the bad guys are still trying to make money and the cops are still trying to arrest people, or at least stop them from committing crimes, mildly disrupt, as Alec Baldwin would say, the organized crime in the neighborhood. But everybody's focus comes down to the respective moles and the other guy's crew. Everyone is always worrying about what happens, who their guy is, who the wrong guy in the batch is, who's the Mr. Orange among the Reservoir Dogs, if you will. And yeah, they're just kind of freaking out about it, especially DiCaprio. I mean, half of the scenes to be like, Jack Nicholson's gonna find out I'm a cop and he's gonna kill me! Jack Nicholson's gonna find out I'm a cop and he's gonna kill me! I wish that they had cast Leonardo DiCaprio as the Hulk in the new in the Avengers, because I think he's much better suited to playing a really high-strung kind of guy who could, fly into a rage any second than Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo's all laid back. It's just I just don't get the casting there. It's like, what's the Hulk going to look like when Mark Ruffalo turns it? It's going to be like this. That's Mark Ruffalo. He's like this. Yeah, man, whatever. It's cool. I know you got like a bunch of guns on me, and I don't want to turn into a green guy. I'm sorry to get off on a rant. But the point is that I think DiCaprio would look pretty cool if he was going, and that would be funny to see DiCaprio as the Hulk. Yeah, he's played a lot of these sort of high-strung guys lately. And I have to say that I bought him in this movie a lot more easily than I bought him in, say, Gangs of New York. And I really had a hard time buying him as Howard Hughes in The Aviator. We will get to that later in the series. Yeah, he's well suited to this part, as he was Catch Me If You Can, the Spielberg film. Those are, I think, are 2 recent movies of his in which he's well cast. But he still is a stringy guy, isn't he? He's still a scrawny little guy. He's 6 feet tall, actually. I had no idea he was 6 feet tall. That's crazy. But yeah, Matt Damon, he's terrific in this movie. I mean, I watch him in this movie and I forget all about every other nice character he plays. He's just a cold son of a bleep. And Jack Nicholson, he is appropriately over the top and larger than life, and he's pretty funny. Alec Baldwin, of course, he's very funny. I love Alec Baldwin, and he's got kind of a minor role in this movie, but he has a lot of good moments. One of my favorite things is one of the things that got the biggest laugh is after Dingham, the Mark Wahlberg character, talks with all the feds and basically insults them to their faces and calls them mother bleepers and then leaves the room. Alec Baldwin goes, "He really is a very nice guy. Don't judge him on this meeting alone." And of course, we all know that isn't true because he just bitches everybody out throughout the entire movie. I'm sorry, he bleeps everybody out throughout the entire movie. Excuse me, I like to keep my channel family friendly. Mark Wahlberg was the only guy out of the cast to get an acting nomination at the Oscars. He got a supporting actor nomination. None of the other guys were nominated. That's crazy. He's good in the movie. He's really good. But yeah, out of all of them, I thought, I guess, maybe they could have given one to Damon. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, The Departed is a good one. And The Departed also has another good demonstration of Scorsese's editing style. Scorsese is the kind of guy, and Christopher Nolan does this as well, who will cut scenes short, who will make things move at a really fast pace. And I think the best example of this, one of the best examples in The Departed, is after Matt Damon and a lot of the other guys are having their first big powwow with Alec Baldwin, just talking about, this is at the beginning of the movie. The meeting ends, and what happens at that scene is Matt Damon gets up out of his chair and he walks towards the door to leave the room. Now, what they do is, the shot is just Matt Damon walking towards the door. Alec Baldwin or whomever finishes his line, and then there's a cut to Matt Damon just walking out of his chair. People are already up, talking, moving around. He's walking towards the door. They don't show Matt Damon getting up out of his chair. They don't show him exiting through the room. They just show him walking towards the door. It's just like 2 seconds, not even 2 seconds, a second and a half of him walking towards the door. Bam, 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 on to the next thing. And things are really fast-paced in this movie. There's all kinds of cross-cutting going back and forth between the two sides, all the different people. Bam, bam, one scene after another just moves. The movie's like 2.5 hours long. It doesn't feel like that. It moves at a jolly clip. There's less of an emphasis on camera, on really great camera moves. And this is just a very quickly edited movie. This ranks high as far as Scorsese goes for me. Did it deserve Best Picture? Well, United 93 came out that year, and I would have given it to that. Paul Greengrass was nominated for Best Director, so for me it was like between him and Scorsese, but Scorsese has been around for so long, and he's so fantastic. I wanted to see him get Best Director just as much as anybody. So I think that about does it. Yeah, I didn't say anything about Vera Farmiga, who plays the shrink who has a relationship with Matt Damon. She's also very good. I really like that first scene that she has with DiCaprio. There is a number of scenes like that throughout Scorsese's career where it's a conversation between two people, and it's just basically two medium shots. You have wide shots in films, you have close-ups, you have different angles. Scorsese, when he shoots a conversation, will just have two medium shot cameras going simultaneously to help capture spontaneity and reaction, that kind of thing. He doesn't vary it up because the acting is the real meat. It's staged similar to the Juliette Lewis and Robert De Niro scene in Cape Fear, and also there's a scene between Ray Liotta and Joe Pesci that's quite famous. It's staged in much the same way, just two medium shots. I'm just going on about the camera angles right now, just eating up time. Anyway, that is my review of The Departed. It is excellent. If you haven't seen it, you already know that it's good. You just have to see it. So see it. And be sure to check out V Rose's review. Her review the link to her channel is below in the description. Thanks very much for watching, and thank you for tolerating my substandard acting. Take it easy.